תמיד האמנתי שמרבית העם רוצה בשלום, תומך בשלום, ועל כך...
Peace or power? Which one gets you killed? One believed in making peace with the enemy. The other believed peace was the enemy. Two completely different visions for Israel. They stood on opposite sides of history, and both died in the same way, gunned down in public. In the streets, in front of crowds. Their deaths weren't just assassinations, they were messages. So what made them targets? And why does their story still shake Israel to this day? Let's go back and uncover the rise and the public fall of two Jewish leaders assassinated in public. The year was 1995. Tel Aviv's Kings of Israel Square was packed with thousands of people, waving flags and singing songs of peace. At the center of it all stood Yitzhak Rabin, Israel's war hero turned peace advocate, ending his speech with a powerful promise: violence erodes the basis of Israeli democracy. Minutes later, shots rang out. Chaos erupted. The man who led Israel to military triumphs and dared to chase peace lay fatally wounded. How did the general who once led Israel to victory end up gunned down as the sitting prime minister? By one of his own. The reason behind this will soon become clear. Born in 1922 in Jerusalem, during the British Mandate of Palestine, Rabin grew up in a Zionist household rooted in labor values. His mother was one of Israel's first female soldiers. Discipline and service ran in the family. As a teenager, Rabin joined the Palmach, an elite paramilitary force. He trained in guerrilla warfare and sabotage, fighting both British rule and Arab militias in the struggle to create a Jewish homeland. When Israel declared independence in 1948, Rabin rose quickly through the ranks of the newly formed Israel Defense Forces. By 1964, he became Chief of Staff, the highest military position in the country. Just 3 years later, he led Israel through the Six-Day War, a swift and stunning victory that reshaped the Middle East. Under Rabin's command, Israel captured the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, Gaza, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. He returned a national hero. But Rabin was no warmonger. He believed military victories must lead to political solutions. After retiring from the army, he became Israel's ambassador to the United States, where he developed close ties with American leadership. Those diplomatic skills would serve him well in the years to come. In 1974, following the resignation of Golda Meir, Rabin became Prime Minister of Israel for the first time. His tenure was marked by internal challenges, including economic struggles and political scandal. After a controversy involving his wife's foreign bank account, Rabin stepped down in 1977. For over a decade, he remained on the sidelines of power. But by the early 1990s, as violence between Israelis and Palestinians escalated, Rabin re-emerged. In 1992, he was re-elected prime minister with a bold promise: to secure peace through strength. Behind closed doors, secret talks began between Israeli and Palestinian negotiators in Oslo, Norway. The result was unprecedented: mutual recognition between Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, long considered a terrorist entity. The Oslo Accords laid out a roadmap for peace, including the creation of a Palestinian Authority and a phased Israeli withdrawal from occupied territories. For the first time, peace between Israelis and Palestinians seemed possible. In 1994, Rabin, Arafat, and Israeli Foreign Minister Shimon Peres were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. But back home, Rabin faced a storm of opposition. Right-wing Israelis and religious nationalists saw the peace process as betrayal. Rabin was branded a traitor, his photos defaced with swastikas. Protests grew larger and more hateful. It was November 4th, 1995, Tel Aviv. Thousands gathered for a peace rally in what was then called Kings of Israel Square. Rabin, calm and resolute, addressed the crowd. "I was a military man for 27 years. I fought as long as there was no chance for peace. Now that there is a chance, I will do everything I can to realize it."
תמיד האמנתי שמרבית העם רוצה בשלום, תומך בשלום, ועל כך תודה.
Then as he descended the steps to his car, 3 gunshots echoed through the night. Yigal Amir, a Jewish extremist, had fired at point-blank range. Rabin was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. The man who had spent his life defending Israel died at the hands of one of its own citizens. He was 73 years old. The news stunned the world. In Israel, crowds gathered in silence. Even his opponents wept. President Clinton, visibly emotional, delivered a simple farewell. Shalom, Shaver. Goodbye, friend. Rabin's funeral was attended by dozens of world leaders, including Arab dignitaries who once considered him an enemy. He was buried in Jerusalem, not far from the battlefields he once commanded, and the peace he never lived to see. Yitzhak Rabin, a leader who paid the ultimate price, not for conquering land, but for extending a hand. But he wasn't the only Israeli leader to meet such a fate. Just 5 years earlier, on the other side of Israel's political spectrum, another figure had been taken out in public view. This Israeli leader didn't just speak about Jewish supremacy, he turned it into a political mission. Kahane's journey had long been one of confrontation, with Arabs, with Israel's democracy, even with American Jews. Born in Brooklyn or New York in 1932, Kahane grew up fiercely committed to Jewish survival after the horrors of the Holocaust. He later founded the Jewish Defense League, JDL, in the US, calling for aggressive defense of Jewish communities. But it was when he moved to Israel in 1971 that he truly made his mark, and his message even more extreme. For Meir Kahane, Israel wasn't just a homeland for the Jews, it was a land that had no place for Arabs, and he was willing to fight for that vision. The year is 1984, and Meir Kahane, once dismissed as a fringe figure, has just won a seat in the Israeli Knesset. His message is clear: remove all Arabs from Israel and the occupied territories. No coexistence, no peace talks, no compromise. Kahane's rise sends shockwaves through Israeli politics. His speeches are fiery. His rallies attract angry crowds and devoted followers alike. Many accuse him of promoting hate, but others, frustrated by years of conflict, begin to see him as a voice of unfiltered truth. The government soon reacts. By 1988, Kahane's Kach party is banned from elections for inciting racism. But even outside parliament, his message spreads, especially among hardline settlers and far-right activists. For years, Kahane had warned of an Arab threat from within. He preached expulsion, segregation, and the defense of Jewish identity by any means necessary. It made him enemies, many of them. In November 1990, Meir Kahane, founder of the far-right Kach party, is addressing a group of supporters at a hotel in New York City. Minutes after he finishes his speech, a man walks up and shoots him point-blank in front of a crowd. Panic erupts. Kahane falls to the floor, fatally wounded. The gunman, an Egyptian-American with known ties to radical Islamist groups, had followed Kahane for weeks. Some believe the killing was retribution for Kahane's anti-Arab rhetoric. Others saw it as the first warning sign of what would later become a wave of political violence in the region. Today, Meir Kahane remains one of the most controversial figures in Israeli history. To his followers, he was a visionary. To his critics, a threat to democracy. But what can't be denied is this: he was assassinated in public for ideas that still echo in Israel's political landscape today. While his vision was banned, it was never forgotten.
Meir Kahane represents the ugliest face that Zionism could possibly have. In that way, he wins converts for the PLO, and he particularly does it on campuses across the country, where everyone knows the name of Kahane, and it discredits Israel.